What's up, guys? We're gonna build beats today. I'm gonna be showing you how to make some guitar melodies that are easy to make beats to. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so BPM, we have a slower 127 like usual, and then we have this on auto. Okay, you can kind of mess around if you have this with kind of the other parameters. So for the scale, obviously we can use a minor. We do a D sharp minor. Okay. All right, let's go in here, and we make this real simple. So we're gonna start on the root. And what we can do is pick a pick a nice, so we're gonna pull this up. Now we can't hear this one, so we could just put it there just so we can kind of know where we're at for our bass line. So what we're gonna do is kind of teeter around these half steps here. Let me move this in. Okay, now once you have this built out, everything else is 10 times easier. Okay, let's play. All right, we got enough range already, so now all you have to do is just add in a few other notes. So now we are in D sharp, right? So our original chord is a D sharp minor, right? So you can pull some of these notes up, you can pull some of these over, and I'm gonna create a bass line with this. Let's try something like this. Get some of those lower notes, even though this one won't, you can't hear it. Okay, sounded pretty good. So now we just need to kind of add a melody to it, right? So let's go in here and same thing. Now we can try moving this down, pulling this over, then copy it again, pull it up an octave, and you could just fill in the blank. Then I'm gonna shift D just so we can kind of make this a little bit smaller. And let's like make a little chord right here. Pull these over because we know these notes work. Just let them slide over. I still think this is too. Okay, and then we copy it over, and then we can kind of add just some slight variation. It doesn't need to be anything too crazy, right? Let's see. Maybe move this back and do something like this. All right, it doesn't need to be the best thing in the world. And we copy it over, and then what we're gonna do now is add some key switches. So you don't need to do this part, but this is just like if you want to add a little bit of realism. So usually when you go up to the top, usually you can just add in like some stuff. So you can just kind of. I'm gonna offset them a bit. Okay, I like that. It's a lot smoother. Pull it over, and there we're done with our melody. Okay, so now we can move on to our next instrument. All right, so next up we have like a little bell sound here. So what we're gonna do is just copy some of these parts in the bottom. So what I like to do is kind of make it very simplified. So we can copy this little part here. Okay, and you can kind of copy any section. I'm just doing the easiest part, or the easiest way. So pop that in, and this is just to add some like a second layer of sounds and ambience. Let's just listen to it. You can copy that over, and then oops, maybe we could try pulling it up an octave. Let's see what that sounds like, the transition. Kind of like it low. All right, so that is our bell. Very simple. Now we can move on to our next instrument. All right, so the last layer we're gonna add is a flute. I think flutes go well with like this kind of guitar and this vibe. So we're gonna add this, okay? So with this, if we just go back here real quick, we could just kind of keep this going. So if you look, we kind of have this written out already. And let's just find a nice spot for this. I'm gonna pull that up, and then on this side we can pull this down and then pull this over, make sure it's in the right spots. Okay, so now let's add in that 808 so we can kind of get a little bass line going. All right, now it is time for the 808. So I just put in a snare so we have like some reference to go off of. We could probably turn some of these down, pan it a bit. So go in here and pretty much, let's see. So we don't really have a defined bass line, right? So what you could do is use the harmony within the original chord. So you can go pretty much, let me show you. Let's go up, Shift D. So you can kind of go use any of these notes, right? Or you can go backwards and use some of those notes to make a bass line. Now I like to go down, especially with dark stuff. So we can kind of try like something like that. Okay. And we can just play around with some of these little notes, because you see that, remember, the A sharp works within that chord, the original chord. So that's why we can kind of get away with a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna just copy some this over, and we just add like right. All right, I like that. You can see we can get away with a lot if we just kind of stick around kind of this main harmony. Even though over here the notes are changing, we can still kind of play around with the bass line a bit, even though these notes don't match up. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and finish the beat with the drums. All right, so let's go ahead and fill in these drums for our outro. So we can literally take these and we can just slap these down. And I'm gonna fill for the next bar. Right click here and then just add in some hi-hats. Okay, so now what I want to do is go in here and we can do 1/2 step, and we can kind of change some of these up. Just try to play around with some of these notes. what I'm doing is pretty much just playing these chops off of the 808. So I'm gonna just take this half and just put it right in here. There we go. Okay. And then for the snare, I think the snare is fine, to be honest. Guess we could add like, I think we gotta do 1/6. Forget the timing for it. And then we could pan this. Okay, that helps. All right, I think that's good. And then we copy it, try to put it in the right spots. If we want to, we can kind of add some other. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And then I could turn this down. Could do a little bit more mixing, but let's listen to it. Alright, and that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.